Hello, and welcome to episode 89 of the Stress Knits podcast. I am Stacy, also known as Stress Knits Yarn on Instagram and Stress Knits on Ravelry. I'm the dyer behind Stress Knits Yarn, and this is my little vlogcast, podcast, whatever you want to call it, on YouTube. And yeah, it's been a while, so if you are new, thank you so much for checking me out, and if you are returning, thank you so much for coming back. I know it's been a while, and I apologize for that. I was really trying to do it weekly this year, but a lot was going on, and I needed to just take a step back and really focus on what needed to get done and take care of myself. So here we are on August 2nd, 2019, we're back. It's a very hot, muggy, humid day. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm sweaty, and it's a little too much, so it's just gross. It's those days when like the air conditioning isn't really helping, and just it's hot and humid, but that's okay. That's okay. Cold days are coming, and I'm gonna be so excited when they're here. It's just something to look forward to. So, July. Where did the time go? July went by so quickly. I was prepping for SSK Marketplace, which is the Super Summer Knit Together hosted by the Knit Girls, Leslie and Laura. If you don't watch the Knit Girls podcast, you really should. They're amazing. They're a wealth of knowledge. They're always knitting something amazing, and I really enjoy spending time with them. Yeah, and it was my first time vending, so I was obviously over preparing, but honestly I'm happy with everything that I brought, and it's nice because now the shop is all stocked, and I'll show you some stuff that's in there at the very end. Yeah, so it was a whirlwind, and traveling to Tennessee from Michigan with a 1-year-old a husband was a lot, but it was a lot of fun. We really enjoyed it, and it was just a really great time. So I just want to say a huge thank you to everybody who came to the marketplace, and even if you didn't buy anything, if you just said hi and talked to me for a little bit, it meant so much. I don't think I'll ever be able to articulate well how much it meant to me that people like the podcast or like the yarn or want to buy the yarn. And some people shared with me their stories about miscarriage, and told me how much my openness about it has helped them, and that meant more than anything. Yeah, so I just want to say a huge thank you to everybody that was at SSK and came and said hi, because it meant so much to me. I got to meet so many people who I've talked to over years. People that were talking to me mentioned that they watched me from the dorm room days, which is crazy because that was almost 4 years ago. In January it'll be 4 years. And it's so surreal that people have been with me through this whole thing. So I love you all so much. And even if you weren't at SSK, thank you for all the support that people sent my way. It just meant a lot. So I'm going to stop gushing a little bit. I'll talk about SSK more at the very end, and some other exciting travel news. Yeah, so I didn't do a whole lot of knitting because of SSK prep, and also, so the end of July is really difficult for me. It's when I had my miscarriage at 16.5 weeks 2 years ago, which is crazy that it's been 2 years, but it always kind of puts me in a weird foggy funk, and I just really didn't want to be social. I didn't want to really do anything. So I put off podcasting, and I put off just a lot of stuff that I really needed to do or wanted to do. And I'm glad I did, because I was taking care of myself. I went to therapy, which was wonderful and helped a lot. Doug and I went out on our date on the 26th, and yeah, it was a really beautiful time. So thank you all so much for your patience on me getting back to this, and also my Patreon. If you don't know what Patreon is, it is my the way you can support me monetarily. I'm saying a lot. Sorry, I'm a little rusty, and I always say because it's thoughtful pausing. So, giant truck. So I have a Patreon account, and I post extra videos. You get videos early, so like my SSK vlog will go up there first, whip down episodes, which is where I share my favorite whip of the week. That kind of stuff, and some blog posts and videos about running a business and soon dying tutorials. All of that stuff is over on Patreon, and it's just a way to help support makers that you love. I currently am supporting Jacqueline Salem and Chelsea of Legacy Fiber Arts. They're wonderful. Their Patreons are amazing, and I love supporting them in that way at this moment. So it's just a really great way to show people that you consume so much of their content, that you appreciate it, and you're willing to help fund it. If that makes sense. So, I don't know where I was going with this. But yes, because some patrons were wondering where I was, and I did put up a video over there to explain what was going on, but I just wanted to put that here as well in case somebody didn't see it. Anyway, okay, so I'm gonna keep trying not to hit this. I do have a finished object, but it is not mine. It's not mine. I had my last sample knit come in right after the last episode, actually. So this was knit for me by Maggie. This is the Tegna. Obviously, right? It's telling you a lot. There it is. So this is the Tegna by Caitlin Hunter. This is knit in my favorite base in Betty. And it's beautiful. I love it. I can't wait to wear it when it's not too hot. But yeah, so this is just wonderful. I'm super excited. I almost wore it today, but I just didn't. It's hot. Can I say that enough? It's hot. Yeah, so this got to go in my table at SSK on my samples rack, which was really, really exciting. And then I did kind of finish something. They all have tags on them still because I haven't taken them off, but I worked my butt off to finish the body of my So Faded. So here it is. Because I also wanted this. They're all wrinkled because they were shoved in an IKEA bag. But here it is. This is my So Faded pullover by Andrea Mowry. It is a part of my year of Andrea, which is sadly over. I have a lot of feelings about it. I'm working on a lengthy blog post that will also be accompanied by a lengthy video coming soon. I want to finish a few more things. So probably look into that in September, I'm assuming, because I'd like to finish this. I'd like to finish what I'm going to show you next in my weekender. And then it's just my Ronin that's on the needles. Ugh, I can't wait to get that done. I love that sweater so much. So, like now that my deadline knitting is over, I can just kind of do what I want. It's really exciting. So yes, this is the So Faded by Andrea Mowry. I knit the size extra large, I think, because it's, I don't know, but it fits really well. I did the fading sequence wrong up here, but I really don't mind it. Because I did it the way that you do it in like all of her other patterns, where it's like you do the one stripe and then the two and then the two and the one, like just so. But that's not how you're supposed to do it in here. It's just every other stripe, which it looks better there. But again, I don't really mind. So I have this whole thing finished. I just need to do the sleeves, and I'm hoping that I have yarn left over to do Eliza's, that's not a sentence, Stacy, to make Eliza a pint-sized sew faded. That was really hard to say, and I don't know why. Again, I'm a little rusty and my foot's asleep, so I'm gonna move some stuff. And, okay. So yeah, so I'm using my hand-dyed yarn again in 4 colors instead of 5. So up here you have Palm Lines, which is like my Barely There pink colorway, faded into Grubby, into Rattle, into Dahlia. So I am really, really happy with this. I think it's going to be a great, cozy, kind of funky sweater that's a little out of my comfort zone, but still my color palette. So I'm really, really excited to get this off the needles. So I just have the waist yarn still on. So once I finish this test knit that I'm about to show you, I'm not going to show it to you, but we'll talk about it when it comes. I'm getting ahead of myself. Yeah, this is, oh, I love it so much. I'm really glad that I finally cast one on and I found this beautiful pink fade that I love, and it's only 4 skeins of yarn, which is really cool. So, I've been knitting on one thing majorly. So I was lucky enough to be chosen for Andrea Mowry's Rhinebeck sweater test knit. I was lucky enough to do that last year with the throwback sweater. So I'm really excited. I hope this is kind of a tradition that I get to do it every summer. I'm not going to pull it out. It's living in this bag that Doug got me for Christmas. I'll just give you a little sneak peek of what it looks like. Cool, right? And I'll show you the yarn. So I'm almost done with this. I'm almost a test knit fail, but the pattern is coming out later this month, I believe. So maybe in the next few weeks I'll be able to show it to you. But I used Quince & Company Finch, which is the fingering weight, and Audoin, which is my favorite. It's just like this oatmeal-y natural color. It's almost the color of my wall, which is a light gray, like a taupey gray. There's that. And then Spincycle dyed in the wool and Mississippi Marsala, which is one of my absolute favorite dyed in the wool colorways. So get a contrast color, get 2 skeins of dyed in the wool, same color, different color, it's up to you. I use the same color, and get ready for the sweater because it is a dream. I just finished recording the whip down episode for it, so that'll be coming out the day that the pattern is released, and I'm really excited about it. I wish I could show it to you, but I can't. So there is that, and the last thing that I knit on a little bit was my SSK knitting. And it's too dark to read a chart knitting in the car. I finally cast on my Boxy, so I channeled my inner Amy from Stranded, who I met and is lovely, and I just wish we could be best friends. I have no idea if she feels the same way, but I love her so much. She's the sweetest human. I cast on my Boxy by Locatelli. I'm knitting the 3rd size. Oh, for the test knit, I'm knitting the size 5, which is a 46-inch finish, which gave me about 2 to 4 inches of positive ease. My weight is fluctuating. I don't know what's going on. It's fine. But yes, so this is by Tweedy base, which is a new base that I debuted at SSK, and I love, and it went over really, really well. But it's one of those things I'll only do tonals on, so if you want any of my tonals and you want a sweater quantity or something in Tweedy, just give me a message and I'll hook you up. But yeah, so here it is. I've only knit the ribbing and then like 1/2 inch of the body because, again, it's just shy of 400 stitches. Excuse me. Yeah, so this is all of it. I haven't started alternating skeins yet, but here it is. I'm using Palm Lines on my Tweedy base. It's called Tweedy because my dad calls Eliza Sweetie, but when he uses his baby talk voice, which is so funny, because like my dad's a dude. He has a mustache and he always wears baseball caps and he just goes, "Hey, Tweedy." So I thought Tweedy was the perfect name for it. I love my dad so much. Okay, so anyway, yes, it is palm lines on Tweedy. Second one, and I have 2 more that I still need to cake up. So this is going to be a project that's on the needles for a long time, I'm assuming. I'm kind of hoping that I can knit on it a bit and then also have it as my Rhinebeck knitting. Because I'm not going to be able to knit on the plane. Did I mention I was going to Rhinebeck? I've recorded this 3 times, so let's talk about Rhinebeck. I'm going to Rhinebeck with Doug and possibly my daughter Eliza. I don't think I'm ready to do a huge trip away from her yet. With both Doug and I gone, I don't think I'm ready. So that means, so when Doug and I were out to dinner the other night, he mentioned that he has to do a shoot in Rhode Island for this conference, and they hired him to be the photographer again and flying him out and all this stuff. And he goes, well, so it's the 18th of October, and I was like, oh, okay, like that's fine. I don't have to go to Rhinebeck this year, it's cool. That's what I was saying in my head, and I just went, oh, okay, cool. And he goes, that's the weekend of Rhinebeck, right? I was like, yes, it is. And he goes, well, so I was thinking, if I only book a one-way ticket and I get a rental car, it's only a 3-hour drive. And I was like, huh, you don't say. It's a 3-hour drive? It's not too bad. And he's like, yeah, so, you know, we can, you can fly into Rhinebeck and I'll meet you there. Okay, sounds great. So he won't be getting in until late on Friday. So he'll come with me to the festival, but none of the pre-events, and I didn't get tickets to Indie Untangled because they went really fast and it was the day of the SSK market. So if any of my friends got in, I might send you with a shopping list. But, yeah, so I'll probably go to Needles Up and hang out there for a little bit and just kind of hang out with Eliza, which is really exciting. Nervous about flying with her by myself though, so if any of you have traveled via plane with a child under 2, let me know what to do because I have no idea. Like I don't want to take too much gear, but I also I need a pack and play. I need somewhere for her to sleep. Obviously I need her car seat because we're going to be in a car. Unless I can rent one from a car rental place, right? Does that exist? I don't know. And then an umbrella stroller. That's really all I think I need to bring. Just let me know how you did it because I have no idea. But yeah, so we'll be at Rhinebeck and I'm really, really excited about it. I'm so excited. I'm so excited because I get to see all my friends and all of you and I'm just so excited. Okay, anyway, that's all the knitting. Now let's talk about SSK. So, it was great. Doug, Eliza, and I drove down Thursday. We left later than we wanted to. So we didn't get into Nashville until about 6:30 local time. So that's 7:30 Eastern time. It's an hour behind us. So, yeah, so we just got some fast food and checked into our Airbnb because it was time for Eliza to go to bed, so we couldn't really go out into the city, and we're like, that's fine, we'll go tomorrow. And I had stuff I still needed to finalize for the day on Saturday, and setup was on Friday, so Doug and I, we tired Eliza out and let her crawl around where we were staying and fed her, and then we ate. And then we just both worked and it was amazing. And then on Friday, it was setup day, so I didn't have to be there. I wasn't able to go set up until 4. So Doug and I, we went to the city with Eliza, and we tried to get breakfast at Milk and Honey in Nashville, but it was packed. So we just grabbed, I grabbed a cold brew and a croissant, and Doug grabbed a smoothie, and I shared the croissant with him and Eliza, and we just sat on the steps and just took in Nashville, which was really cool, but it was hot, and I hate heat. It solidified it that I will never live in the South, because I can't. I'm such a such a northern girl. I can't handle heat. So that was a lot of fun, but then we were trying to figure out what to do, and Doug was so sweet, and he's like, well, this is your trip. You're here to work. What do you want to do? Because I'll have time with Eliza on Saturday to do anything that I want to do. I was like, well, it's like, there's a yarn shop. And I was like, it's like 10 minutes away. And he's like, yeah, let's go. So we jumped in the car and we went to House of Yarn. Oh my goodness. House of Yarn it's a dream store. It's right up there with Wool and Honey for me. It's curated so beautifully, and they were having a stranded trunk show, which was great, and then Old Rusted Chair was on consignment there, and I had to get Old Rusted Chair because she's a Nashville dyer, and I wanted some Nashville yarn. So I got the skein of DK. It is called Road Tripping, and it's her Squish DK 100 Superwash Merino 231 yards. So I think I'm gonna make Eliza a hat for the winter out of this, and I'm just really, really excited about it. I love it. I love it so much. And then if there's enough left over, I'll put it into something because it's just too beautiful to not be used. Like, look at the yarn butt. It's beautiful. So Old Rusted Chair, amazing. I wanted to buy more, but I was trying to restrain myself because the market hadn't happened yet, and I needed to be able to pay bills when I got home, and I didn't know if I was going to sell any yarn, and I was like, I can't buy too much. So yes, Old Rusted Chair. And then we went back to the Airbnb, and Eliza took a nap. I finished everything that I needed to do, and Doug and I just hung out, and it was really nice to just be with him and just, you know, watch The Office and eat fast food, because it's so hard traveling with a kid who's on a schedule and trying to go out to eat at local restaurants, and like, you can't have too much of a wait, and you have to time it out so perfectly. So we're like, let's get fast food and we'll get dinner before we go set up at this place that my hair person, who's also my sister's best friend, Lindsay, she who cut my hair, and I love it because it's letting its curly self be curly, and it's the most I've ever worn my hair down in my entire life. And it just makes me feel so confident and happy and like a woman again, because I was not feeling great. It was awful. And not that you need to have your hair down to be a woman. It's just I didn't feel, excuse me, I just didn't feel like myself. I think I said the wrong words. So I'm sorry about that, but my brain just wasn't working. So because I always had my hair up in a bun or a ponytail, and it also didn't look great when it was up. It looked pretty bad. So, I don't know, I just feel like a person again. That's what I want to say. I feel like a person again. So I'm starting to get my groove back post-baby, and it's been over a year, so it's pretty great. But she recommended a few places for Doug and I to eat, and she even mentioned that it's hard to eat in Nashville because everywhere is a bar, and it's crowded and it's a lot. But she recommended this place called The Pharmacy, and it's a burger bar. So I had a champagne beer, which was weird and delicious, and it tasted like sour cherries, and it was bubbly and wonderful. And then I had a I had the best burger of my entire life. So it was huge. It was like this big. And it's called the cheeseburger. And it had like 3 different cheeses melted onto the burger plus a roasted garlic aioli. Did you know you needed that on a burger? I didn't until now. It's so good. And then fries, and Doug had a chili burger and he really loved that. And so if you're ever in Nashville, the Pharmacy, go. It's the best food I've ever had. It was so good. I think I might be getting Eliza's cold. So, what happened next? Then it was marketplace setup at SSK, which is at the Scarrett Bennett Center in Nashville, Tennessee, which is near Vanderbilt University, and Vanderbilt just bought it, so that's pretty cool. And it's beautiful. It made me long to go back to school and just live that campus life again. I kind of miss it, not living on campus, but just being on campus. And yeah, it was great. I met Leslie and Laura, and they helped me like find where I was and answered all of my questions. And Doug went to go get a tablecloth, which turned out to be a bed sheet. And yeah, it was just an interesting experience. I was next to a bunch of wonderful people. I was across from Desert Vista Dye Works, and Tuft Woolens was like right there. And then next to me was Shelby of, I should have written this down. I know it. I want to say something, but I don't know if it's it, and I don't want Shelby, I'm sorry. I think it's Shipwrecked Sheep. I don't know, but her colorways are gorgeous. And then to the left of me was, I don't remember people. I don't remember vendor names. I'm sorry. I was probably a horrible neighbor. Gosh, I was just so nervous. But yeah, so they had spinning wheels and fiber and hand-dyed yarn, and they had a giant booth next to Leading Man Fiber Arts. But yeah, it was just amazing, and all the vendors were just so nice, and I loved having my booth next to Shelby because she was wonderful. And yeah, it was such an amazing experience, and I loved setting up. That was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. I hate teardown. I don't want to do that again, but I do. But it was just so peaceful, and it was just so nice to see all of my yarn in one place. There will be a Nashville vlog coming. I'm editing it right now because I got a new computer. So I'm learning the editing software. So hopefully this podcast will get better, along with more vlogs, including Vlogmas. Did I say it too soon? But I can actually do it this year because I won't be relying on Doug to edit my videos. So SSK was wonderful. I bought a few things at the marketplace. Not as much as I wanted to. I really wish I would have bought more. There was a Miss Babs colorway that I really loved. There were a few things from Leading Men Fiber Arts that I wish I could have gotten. Yarn Cafe Creations, Christy, she had this pink that I really loved, and I just didn't get around to going. Yeah, but also, how did I forget this? The Gâteau sweater debuted at my booth, and it was amazing. So Melissa, who is Skinanigans, you might know her from Magpie fame or Northeasterly fame. She's wonderful. She helped me in my booth, and it was wonderful just to have her when I had to pee, because I pee a lot. So it was really great just to have somebody there to be like, can you watch my booth? I have to pee. And just be able to trust her with that. It was wonderful. And on top of that, she brought her gorgeous sample of the Gâteau sweater, which is knit out of my hand-dyed yarn, and it utilizes 12 mini skeins and 2 full skeins. So if you're interested in a kit, they're in the shop right now until the end of the month. And then you can just request it via custom order if you want it. Actually, it might stay up longer than that. I don't know yet. But, yeah, so that was wonderful. I loved having Melissa in my booth. It was just so great to have somebody there because I've just felt super awkward and I was kind of out of it, and I don't know, it was just a weird, overwhelming moment. I had a panic attack the day before the market when I was setting up. I just started thinking about, like, what if nobody buys anything? What if I never sell yarn again? Like, it was just it's so hard to put yourself out there in that way. And so I was getting really stressed out and worked up about it, but it was just so great to have somebody there who understood. And yeah. Sorry. Okay, so to what I bought. So before the marketplace opened, I had to get Tuft Woolens, which it's making my office smell so good. Because I have an office, you guys. I need to stop saying you guys, but I have an office. We're painting it. And I'm so excited. Doug and I were gonna share the office, but I think I get the entire upstairs office, and I'm so excited about it. But these soaps have been in there and it just smells like this. So I got the honey lavender and lavender apple. This just smells like fall to me. And this just smells like happiness. So I got 2 bars of Tuft Woolens soap. And then after lunch, I went to Diane's booth, and she wasn't there, but Mr. Stitcher was, and I bought a skein of Predictability, which I love. I think I'm going to knit. It's a pattern by Petite Knit. It's one of their baby sweaters, and it has eyelets all over it. I just think this would be so pretty, and it for Eliza for the fall. And if there's enough left over, I might make a hat for her as well. And this is, I believe it's the same base that I use because it's the 250 yards per 115 grams. And I love it. I love it. It's such a beautiful colorway, and meeting Diane was wonderful. And she had her LYS sweater on that she knit out of Predictability, and I needed it, and it was just so wonderful meeting her. So, yeah, so I grabbed it from her, and I love it. I love it so much. I wish I could have bought it from her, but her husband will do. So that is what I bought at SSK. It was such a whirlwind, but because I brought 500 full skeins and 200 mini skeins, I have a lot left over. So I'm just gonna show some things that I have in the shop right now. So if you are interested in buying Stress Knits yarn, now's the time. There's like 200 skeins left. Like there's a lot, and there's a lot of options. So let's talk about sweater quantities. I have a lot of sweater quantities because my goal was to have at least 3 to 5 skeins of each colorway. There were some that had more, there were a few that had less, but usually the lowest quantity was 3. So you could work it into color work or something like that. But yes, so I have some Rattle. I have a sweater quantity of Rattle on favorite and on single. And I love this colorway. And if you want to know more about my mixtape collection, which is this collection right here, I wrote a blog post about it. I'll link it below. It's incredibly personal, but it talks about why I chose songs and what they make me feel and all of that. So Rattle is one of them. And I love Rattle. I have a sweater out of Rattle. It's in my So Faded. It's a great colorway. So there's Rattle. Perfectly Adequate, which is my just light medium gray. Birch. These are all on single, by the way. Ophelia, which is also a part of my mixtape collection, and I also have a sweater quantity on Favorite. So there's that. Cheeks, which is just a good medium warm pink. And Grubby. There's plenty more that I have sweater quantities of, including, here we go, Siren. I love Siren so much. And Golden Hour. And I have this on single, Favorite, and DK. I think there's more in DK. Oh, I love Golden Hour so much. Yes. Ooh, yay. I ordered some Spincycle from the UK because they had the original shift colors, which I've wanted since it came out in Edinburgh. And I just got the email that my order has been received, and I'm super excited about it. Anyway, yes, so there are plenty of sweater quantities, and there are more than this. I just didn't want to bring all 200 skeins out here, so yeah. There's that. I have some DK, like Pillow Mint, which I really think goes with a new colorway called Puddle Jumper. And also, if you're looking for a Soldotna, these skeins plus Etching, which is a really dark gray, and My Jam is kind of, it's kind of great. So, yeah, but I just love these two together. There's that. Here's Puddle Jumper in single, which I also have sweater quantities of. It's just so good. It's a purple with dark gray speckles. And because we're all still obsessed with the fuzz, so my alpaca base, which is called Cloud. Nope, this is Halo. This is the mohair silk base. And this is Cloud, which is my Surrey alpaca silk, which is just velvet. And a lot of people touched my, where is it? I brought it out here. My, what's this called? The No Frills Pullover by Petite Knit, and I'm using my Surrey alpaca with my singles base. And it just feels like a velvet sweater, and I had quite a few people buy yarn to make their own out of the same bases. And if you are a purple person, I think, so this is Puddle Jumper, and I couldn't quite get Puddle Jumper to translate to the fuzzy bases. Sounds like there's a car accident. So, I'm gonna wait and see on that, or maybe it's a dump truck, can't tell. But the it just, can you see how it turned a little bit blue? So it's a new colorway called Go to Your Room, and it's called that because this is the exact color that my room is painted. It's coming up more blue than it is. It's actually, it's like a blurple. It's closer to like a periwinkle. I think it might translate, yeah. It's definitely closer to a periwinkle, but I think putting Puddle Jumper with this, it would create just like the most beautiful holographic looking sweater. So I definitely have enough of both of these if someone wants to knit a no frills or a love note or anything where you hold a single with a fuzz. I think it would be really great. I also dyed up a bunch of sparkle, which I haven't had in a long time. So for you sparkle lovers, now is the time. So I have Pistachio Rose, classic. And then I have, just to show you, I have Dahlia, which I love dark colors with a speckle. So this is Dahlia and Siren. It's just so good. So oh, and I also brought My Jam mohair because I know I have a sweater quantity of this as well. So there are options. And again, if you don't find what you're looking for in the shop, just email me and we'll do a custom order. I have a bunch of custom orders going out today, which is really exciting. The last of Accidental Gemini finally dried. This humidity is crazy. So those are also going out today. I already started printing off labels. And then, yeah, I just had a few people order some sport weight sweater quantities today, which is really exciting because I love my sport weight, but it just doesn't sell in the shop. So if you want sport weight, message me because it's wonderful. I also have a bunch of mini sets for those of you who are looking for minis, and they're just great for color work or blankets or heels, toes, and cuffs. So I showed this before. This is my mixtape mini set, and I finally individually labeled all of these skeins so you know exactly what color is what. It's really exciting, and it's going to be so good for the advent calendar. I have my Murderino mini sewed minis. So this has Sweet Baby Angle, Stay Out of the Forest, SSDGM, You're an Occult, Call Your Dad, and Triflers Need Not Apply. And these colorways are going to start popping back up in the shop more and more because these are my Halloween colorways. This is so, I don't know what that stutter was, but these plus some new Murderino minis will be coming to the shop in the next few months. I have a set of neutrals. So this is Birch, I Smell Snow, Perfectly Adequate, Knit Folk, and Pebble, which is a new colorway that I don't know if I'm going to put in a full skein, but there's that. And then I have my summer set because these are like the brightest colors. So Go to Your Room, Experiment in Aqua, Lipstick and Shawls, River, which is going to be tweaked. It's going to go into the mixtape collection, but it's going to be tweaked a little bit. It's based off of the Leon Bridges song, River, which is just, it's a jam. It's so good. It's so good. And then My Jam at the end. So there are those, a few more mini sets in the shop. There are plenty. There's plenty for you if you are looking for yarn from Stress Knits, whether it's a sweater quantity or stuff for the Bennett sister shawl. It's what a lot of people, the hot things that people were buying for were the Soldotna, Comfort Fade Cardi, and the Bennett sister shawl. And that's what a lot of people were buying at my booth, which is really, really cool to watch. What else do I have to say? Oh, advent calendars. So there will be a few more slots opening because I just did all of the ordering and everything like that, and I ordered a couple extra sets for advent calendars, so I'll be putting those in the shop in this coming week. And then finally, Hanukkah celebrations will be going up in the shop as well. So look out for that later this week. I'm so excited. Thank you for your patience with those. I know it's taken a lot longer than I wanted to, but again, I wanted to do this the right way and make sure I was going to do it justice. So my foot is asleep and the floor is squeaking and it's really bothering me. So I will be around more now that it's August, and I cannot wait to just share all of my making with you now that all of the deadline stuff is over. So I will see you next time. Happy knitting and have a wonderful week. Bye.